But we had the Battle Royale, and we had Brian Westbrook. By the way, we are working on a very special guest next week, Clyde Simmons. So we're working on that. You guys like gangrene? Big Sills is going to bring you gangrene. All right. Speaking of green, the man, the myth, the legend, the co-host of Birds 365, it is our friend, Big C, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
All good, man.
Are you clumping me in with narratives again to prove your point, Sileo?
No, I'm not saying anything negative.
Oh, I think they should absolutely go for the record. You misheard me on Birds 365. I just think John made the right point. I mean, at every step, the Birds have gone out of their way to, when they can, get their guys extra rest. And if that game's meaningless, I doubt they're going to do it. I think they should do it, though. I think you're right. I think that's one of those things where, I'm with everybody. We want Super Bowls, not those accolades. But there's certain ones that tell the story of the NFL, that tell the story of a franchise, of a team, of an era of football. And I think that's a story worth getting and telling and being a part of. So
how about this, Andrew? If it was the all-time single-season rushing mark for the Eagles, I don't think that's a big deal.
Right.
But I think when you're talking the all-time NFL rushing mark of 2105,
agreed.
People know what that is. Like they know Wilt scoring 100 points. They know that, you're talking about something, and especially a guy who had a career, Zander, that was wasted in New York, that you would want him to be able to validate that by going like this. That possibly wins him and most surely should win him the MVP. You start talking about numbers, longevity, and also his resume about potentially down the line. I would want that for my organization. And plus, don't you think Howie would want that? I made him the all-time league single-season rushing leader, and I did it with a guy in my own freaking division.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think everything you're saying is spot on, and I hope Barkley can get there. I think that would be excellent to see him. Yeah, I mean that would be a pretty cool feat to get, especially for a guy like Lane Johnson too. It's another guy. I mean, all those guys. I think it'd be a great thing to do. You know what else is interesting about it too is it's not just the moment in time where okay you break the record. This is. I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to do this, but like if it did happen that this team went to a Super Bowl with Barkley, you're like transcending what the trend of the last 20 years as the NFL has been and coming in and disrupting that in such a large way. I mean, it would become a part of NFL history. Think about it. The passing attack, the rules that have been made, the passing yard, everything that's happened in the NFL. And here come the Philadelphia Eagles who decide to bring back the 1980s, destroy everybody at the line of scrimmage, and march their way to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's a hell of a story, right, Sills?
Yeah. Oh, no,
hey. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see, though, what happens.
I want to see this, too. I want to see this, okay? I do want to see this. By the way, how much interest do you have in tonight's game? Packers and Lions tonight.
Maximum interest. I'll be tuned in the entire game. I'll be watching every play.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I want to see both these football teams because there's a part of me, Zander, that thinks that the Packers are kind of right in there with the talent level and the roster
level. I think they are, yeah.
And the quarterback, you know what? Hey, if I had to pick a quarterback between the both of them to start my franchise, I'm picking Jordan Love to start my franchise over Jared Goff. Even though Goff is having – an exceptional year. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that because maybe I keep dismissing him. Would we agree Jared Goff's better than Dak Prescott?
I think they're similar players. I do think Jared Goff is in a better system right now.
And he's won more.
He's won more, certainly. But I think there's a lot of other factors that go into this that, like Dak, look, I'm not a Dak guy, but at the end of the day, they haven't really done a good job. Like, did Dallas fans or Eagles fans expect Dak to have a good year this year?
Nope, I didn't.
Caleb wouldn't have a good year there. Tom Brady probably wouldn't have a good year there. Like nobody would have a good year this year.
No,
I'm not going to crush that. I do think Dak is probably a more talented passer, but Jared Goff's probably the better overall quarterback. He's pretty good. Jared Goff, I don't think gets enough credit from people. I think they like.
I shit on him too, and I shit on him.
Look, I've been there too in the past, but. I think Jalen Hurts deserves more credit. I was going back, by the way. I'm getting some bleed in my screen. Let me see if I can fix that. I was going back and I want to challenge you on Jalen again because I'm challenging myself. I'm not just challenging you, but I've also been there where I'm at the start of the year and I'm like, can we win with Jalen like this? Is this good for the modern NFL? I have questions about Jalen Hurts, but if you go back and look at this guy's career, he has won at an unprecedented level at every and I'm talking high school, college, another college, now in the NFL.
Mhm.
And I think what happens is, at least my speculation would be that you can't. It's not visible to the eye. Well, it's not explainable why he wins so much because he doesn't do things like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or stuff like that. And I think it's hard to gauge how good of a player he is. And then when you get to the end and you're like, well, shit, he wins so much more than other guys. Like, I'll take that. I'm good with that, even if it's not exactly what I wanted to see somebody do to help me win.
Well, let me ask you this then. Was there a drop-off in wins when Hurts was benched in Alabama? When he had all that great talent around him? Was there a drop-off?
He was 26-2.
Was it more elevated when they put someone else in there that could throw the ball with more progression and understand reading defense?
It was a different offense. That was actually, you could argue that was like the break point of when Saban shifted to a complete pass team because before that, it was always defense and run game. And I reminded somebody today, right. we won a national championship with Jake Coker.
The Henrys, the Mark Ingrams.
I mean, we had Jake Coker, we had Blake Sims in there. We were 12-2 with Blake Sims. Like, we didn't have a passing offense.
But
Jalen Hurts was 26-2 in that time, and then he got benched.
And they benched him, and they elevated the offense by putting a better passer in there. So it wasn't where they missed him. They didn't miss him. They elevated one national. I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying he's not good, but he was benched for a reason. They were still winning.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And they elevated.
He wasn't benched for a reason. I get it.
He has been. By the way. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in places that have great organizations and great environments for winning and conducive to helping you be a winner. Who in the fucking world would want to go work for the Jets? I don't want to. What, for money? Okay, fine. But wouldn't you want to be in a place like Bama, in a place like Oklahoma, in a place like Alabama? And then you get to an organization that consistently puts rosters together that keeps you around the rim. Now, again, Sills, hey, has he benefited from this? And has he taken advantage of this? Yes, at all points. But am I saying, can you put someone else in there? Well, yeah, you could. But he'd have to be a Josh Allen. He'd have to be a Joe Burrow. You're not just going to put – now, can you put Baker Mayfield in there? I don't know. I don't think so. But if – could you put Jared Goff in that offense? And could they excel because of the passing game? I do believe that. Could you put a guy like Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy in Philadelphia would be amazing because of what that guy does and how he sees the passing game a little better than Hurts. So my question would be, Jalen wins a lot, and Jalen is a talented guy. And I said this to you, Zander, the last year and a half. You give me that RPO guy that I saw in that Ravens game, and you play like that, that guy is going to win you a lot of football games, and I'm buying that. My problem is that in 22, you were 7th in passing. This year, you're 28th. In my opinion, since the 22 season, he hasn't evolved as a passer. They have not evolved that game. As a matter of fact, up to the point now where is Devontae even on the team anymore? I mean, how about this one too? I brought this point up. Do you not agree with this? If they didn't have the wide receivers injured, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert this year, they would still be trying to fucking throw the ball like they do in the first quarter every fucking game. And think about this. You've only been with the 3 guys 3 times this year where you've had them on the field together. Don't you think that if that haven't evolved, and I said it earlier to you in the year, I think this guy Barkley's changing the narrative. They got into the bye. They completely went the opposite way and flipped the script. Dude, I'm telling you, if those guys don't get hurt, I think they're still trying to jam that ball down the field like they do in the first quarter. And you're not having this Barkley year.
Maybe. I think that's fair to assume that might have, I think they
Well,
would have
look at the
changed.
first quarter.
I think they would have changed eventually. It just might have been
Okay. They did it in
it might have
23.
been an uglier road, Sileo, to get there. It might have been an uglier road where we had to go through some stuff. But look, I also think that something that's been lost in the conversation of the passing offense this year is it is a new coordinator. Like, you don't often see guys get new coordinators and have their best year. Even with 22, it took Shane Steichen his second year. So I think that's in there too. I think that's a factor.
Brian
I'm
was
not
eighth.
saying that's an excuse, but I think that's a factor.
Brian was eighth.
Well, we're fourth this year. He wasn't eighth in the passing.
They were
I don't
they
think
were
Brian
eighth
was-
total. They were eighth
Yeah,
total.
so we're fourth total right now. Now that's obviously
But I
skewed
thought
because
Kellen
of
was
run.
brought in to improve the passing game, not the run game.
Could we be seeing a shift in their philosophy based on what we
Yes.
saw versus the Ravens going back to the RPO? Because you saw more of it and successfully.
And now a
last year.
fullback.
They signed a fullback. How about have you seen that guy too? There's
Yeah.
some good tape out on that guy,
Hey,
Curry
dude, that
Black Game or
fullback-
whatever his name is.
Hey, that fullback is
Yeah.
you know what that means? Less reps for Dotson.
Ooh, that's all right. You're not losing much there. Jalen's not a progression guy, so you're not getting to that third receiver much. You know, we can kill Dotson all we want. How much of it is on Dotson? I don't know. Now, he wasn't great when he was a number 2 receiver, so I'm not giving him an out. He's not. I don't think he's this great player, but this
Has
isn't the
anybody
offense
been
for
good?
somebody to thrive as a wide receiver 3.
Has anybody been good at the 3 hole, though, for Philly in the last 3 years? And if you're telling me Quez Watkins, okay, well, shit.
I mean, was
You're
Quinyon
really not getting it. Hey, I'll tell you what, that Olmadias guy or whatever his name was, that guy was pretty decent.
Yeah. Was Queasy better than we give him credit for
Yeah,
here?
it was. Except
Like
that
last year he had last year was a drop. See, he did really good in 21. Now that was because that was before they got AJ, is that right?
yeah.
So he had 650 yards in 21. That was Jalen's first year starting. Then he had 350 when AJ showed up. Then he had 140 last year.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a good year last year. 140 yards is pitiful.
Quez Watkins was, I even forget he was on the team a year ago.
He was. Yeah, he was here last year.
Yeah. So that just shows. Do you
9
know that
games, he only played in 9 games, but
you know you
142
only
yards.
got 35 catches out of that 3 hole a year ago total. 35 catches out of that position for the entire year. You're trending that way again this year. And get this again, like I said, look, dude, the guy is on a historic run. They're now starting to go back to fullback. They're going back to running the ball more. I don't have a problem with that, man. Again, especially if you continue to play defense the way you're playing on that side of the ball. Zander, if that defense is not playing that way, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Now, I'm going to ask you this question.
You're not wrong about that. And by the way, Brian Westbrook sounded a lot like Big Z yesterday, didn't he? With if this defense does this, then sure they can win a Super Bowl. If they don't, then yeah, we're going to have to change it up and see if we can win through the pass.
Let me ask you something here. Do the Philadelphia Eagles have a regular season offense and they don't have a postseason offense?
No, I saw that bullshit. I guess it's fair to assume that, or fair to wonder that until we get there. But look, that's going to be the narrative because when you get into playoffs, margins are tighter. But at the end of the day, I've seen the Eagles get to the Super Bowl. Remember, how many points did they give up on defense in 22 in the march to the Super Bowl? They give up 7 to the Niners and I think 7 to the Giants. So they gave up back in 17, the NFC title game, we won 38-7 over the Vikings. So I get it. In the playoffs, is there more of a chance?
But you won the Super Bowl you won the Super Bowl in 17 throwing the ball like a ton. In the playoffs, in that playoff run.
Oh, we threw the ball a ton.
In the playoffs, too. It wasn't just the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm more pointing out to that if the defense can keep an offense at bay, then it allows you to be the running attack consistently. You know, like if you're down 7 or the opponent only has 7 or 10 or 14 points on the board, you're going to be able to run all 4 quarters. So you never have to change your offense into being that passing style. But, you know, that's good. That's going to be interesting to see tonight. Like the one thing I'll give Detroit right now over Philly is if they were down by 21, and maybe people will disagree with me, and that's fine, but challenge me. I mean, say what you think. But if they're down 21, I'm not saying we couldn't do it. I think they've showed more that they could be able to handle that than potentially the Eagles offense has yet this year. And that's not to say the Eagles can't do it, but they haven't really showed it yet this year. And that's fair to point out right now versus the Lions offense. Look, Jared Goff's had 5 touchdown games this year. He's throwing the ball.
Perfect quarterback ratings.
But remember, Sills, we joke about Jalen's 118 yards. Jared Goff won a game this year with 85 yards. 85 yards. 85 freaking yards.
Yeah,
so
but
they're similar teams. Like I said, though, I do think Jared Goff has showed a little bit more.
But they're fourth in passing. Okay, I mean
that's
an anomaly.
That's why I think they could.
See, that's an anomaly, though. 85. Your guy's a trend. 110, 115, 125, 130. That's who he is. That's not who Goff is.
Yeah, it's a good stat here.
That's not who he is.
You're right. You're right. Storman Norman says Eagles, when trailing this year, have ran the ball 52% of the time. But Storman, it's a great stat, by the way. Thanks for putting that in there. I don't think we've been down by 2 touchdowns, maybe yet this year.
And I thought the most. I thought 10. I thought you were. I can't remember the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've been down. There's been moments when we were down, but I'm saying we've never been in a position where a team has been close to running away with the game. I mean, we were down 9 to the Ravens, and if they scored there, I was like, oh boy, if they score here and go up 16, that's going to be an interesting thing to see how the Eagles come back from that. We haven't really been in that position. And Storman, that's the point about the defense. Kind of makes the point, doesn't it? When you're not down by a lot, you can stick to the run. When you are down by a lot, you got to abandon that run to get back in the game. And it'll be interesting to see. I still think we can answer that bell, though, by the way. But it's not fair. It's not unfair to say we haven't seen it.
So you think you're just going to be able to flip a switch and all of a sudden you're going to throw for 325 yards?
No, but I think if a game calls for it, I think we do have the weapons. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you pointed it out on this show, literally today. If you're going to take away Saquon, you're going to leave a guy in single coverage. And I'll take A.J. Brown in single coverage over any cornerback in the league. And Jalen has proven, okay, I'll throw it to A.J. Even if it's not the best throw, I'll put the ball up for A.J. to go and get it.
They can't cover the slant.
Right, so what do? How do you take that away? You know?
But I think it's all predicated on the fact that this year what they've done, Jalen Hurts has run the ball more. Jalen has been more effective, in my opinion, on 3rd and long when he runs the ball, man, because if you're a coordinator, I have to do this. If you're sitting down with your personnel, you're sitting down going, okay, they're going to run the slant. They're going to have to give you single coverage. I can't tell you how many times I watch a 22 and I go, why the fuck are they doing that? Single covering him. And then it's evident you do this because it's Barkley, their number one objective. Zander, I'll let him catch the slant. I got to stop Barkley. And you can't. And then you say this, okay, well, who's got Hurts? Okay, if Hurts keeps it and decides to go up on 3rd and 7, who has him? Most of the time, that's a physical mismatch. No, very few teams have a Dre Greenlaw that's a second best linebacker to Fred Warner, and Hurts is going to beat that. That if you notice, most of the time, the people that are making tackles on him are free safeties. They've got to come up and make a play on him, and by that time, Hurts has got the first down. It makes that single coverage on the numbers so much more difficult is because of the running game on what's going on with those two guys. And right now, okay, this is where maybe I'll give Kellen. He's come up with a scheme to get AJ single covered. And he's also come up with something here knowing full well that offensive line is so dominant at the point of attack that Hurts and Saquon are making it impossible to double cover. I mean, look at Lamar. Yeah. Lamar was throwing into 4-man coverage.
I know.
Dude, I've never seen AJ with 4 dudes on him. You know why? Because those 4 dudes better be over there.
The only time I did that was in the Super Bowl when he made that big catch. He was triple covered on that catch. I'm pretty sure.
You're not getting triple coverage when you got Saquon Barkley and Hurts that can take off running like that.
Yeah, you know what else? Yeah. You know what else I think adds to that? And you tell me. Does Saquon Barkley's home run ability also add to that? Because think about it. You could be down in a game and it's like, oh, you got to pass to get in. Well, if they're going to double up or try and take away A.J. Brown, okay, you're going to make it pretty easy for me to make a big hole for Saquon Barkley, and he's not going to get 15 yards. He's going to get 60. You know, I think that changes a lot too, and that's what makes our running game so dynamic this year, where it's not just a traditional running game. Now, the Lions, similarly, though, have a good running game, but they don't have the +1 like Jalen does.
Do you know what gives me a Woodrow Wilson about AJ too? Is this. He learned that blocking for Henry downfield and blowing dudes up and how important that is. I'm not saying he enjoys doing that, but I'll tell you what, man, there is no doubt he knows how to block downfield. And if you're a free or strong safety, I wouldn't want that fucker coming across me and hitting me in the head like that. Barkley, those home runs, dude, I didn't realize he was that quick.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay?
Me neither.
I did not. Now, I want you to help me out on something here. And I think this was a terminology conversation you guys were having more than, by the way, it's not a rip on anything here. I think it's just a different NFL today than what John was. Look, lockdown corners are clearly this. And by the way, I asked somebody in the NFL to tell me what the Eagles do when they press. There was a team. Okay, I'll tell you. I asked Bruce Arians this question. Okay. The Eagles this year play 2.3 press coverage. Okay. That means you're up on the line of scrimmage and you're pressing wide receivers. 2.3% of the games that they've played this year, which is really very limited. So most of the time, they're 98% or 97%, they're going to be in a zone coverage, which means he's like between 7 to 10 yards off the ball, and they're going to be in a zone coverage back there, and you're going to have two high safeties. That's the Vic Fangio. Now, I also asked the question, is that the modern day thing that's going on in the NFL today? Because when you look at the overall numbers, Zander, in my time, 300 yards. Right now, the Eagles are giving up 290 yards in total offense. That's number one. Fuck. Are you kidding me? In my time, it's 242,
right.
238. Okay? The league has progressed into it where they're giving you that underneath shit like that. So when I heard John say that Q's not a press corner, I'm like, he's not. But I also said, I don't think you could just put Zander Krause out there at left corner and fucking you have the top defense.
Say that,
like,
you
no. But I mean, dude, I think that he is an impact in that zone defense for the simple fact his closing speed, his communication. And I got to say this too, man, and I hate to do this, but this goes to Howie. I'd like to know who had the insight on drafting him and Cooper DeJean, because those dudes, for them being able to figure it out as quick as they have, they must have played that defense. And I checked with Kirk Ferentz. They played a zone defense at Iowa, and they did play a zone at Toledo. So they know what they're looking at when they're back there. Did Vic influence that in that pick?
Maybe.
Or was that Howie that influenced that? Because here, the Dolphins are having a better year defensively without Vic Fangio. Okay? They're having a better year.
Yeah, they didn't really fit the zone system as much.
Right, they're a press team.
Well, you know what's interesting about the Cooper DeJean pick is, now I don't know obviously how much. There's always some say, but I think the owner liked him the most. If you go back at the draft, you remember when they released the draft footage of the room, and the owner was ecstatic when the Rams took Fisk and did not take Cooper DeJean, and that's when Howie jumped. So I don't know. I mean, somebody made the good pick on him. Vic probably signed off on it, but look, I don't think they're giving anybody final say or more say than what Howie and Jeffrey would have in that. I think that's their sandbox, whether they're right or wrong to do
even
it.
Stoutland?
Maybe Stout. I'm sure Stout. I mean, look, when you're picking an offensive lineman, I think you would be dumb as a GM to not go with that, to not go with that opinion. But at the end of the day, every pick, you never know who's on the board when you make a pick. So Howie's making that final decision. But I don't know. It was an interesting pick, and it's really turned out because Cooper DeJean, Sileo, you made this early comment. You made it like 5 or 6 weeks ago on the postgame show, and you got ripped in the comments after, and you were like, I think I like Cooper DeJean more than Quinyon Mitchell. And you were the first guy to say that. And now now I'm seeing that all over the place, where as good as Quinyon Mitchell's been, Cooper DeJean has been right there, maybe even better than him.
It's not a rip.
It's not a rip. No, it's not a rip at all. But you noticed that early, how much of a difference he made on that defense. And if you go back, when he started playing is really when the defense took off to a new level. Now, I'm not saying it's all him, but Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are home run draft picks for this team. I think franchise altering, literally.
That's a real, like, here, like I heard somebody make a comment about, and I think it was John saying something about Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, we got a super chat about Fletcher.
If you remember when Xander ripped me, when I first got on the network, and I said Fletcher Cox is my favorite DT, even over Aaron Donald.
I didn't remember that.
He goes like this. He goes, "You think Fletcher's better than Aaron Donald?" I go, "He's more complete because he can play the run and he can play the pass." Was he the pass rusher that Donald was? No. But you know the one thing that he could do? He was a guy who could play the run as well. There were multiple times you watched him in the run game. I have always been a Fletcher Cox guy, and I've always thought he was great. You know what I didn't think, Zander? I didn't think Fletcher was in the room with Ndamukong Suh. But if you look at their numbers, they're exactly the same. And a lot of people believe that Ndamukong Suh is an NFL Hall of Fame player. Okay? Now, is Jalen Carter in that room? I wrote down my 5 greatest Eagle D linemen. And I wrote these guys down. These are my 5. And do I think he's got the skill set to get there? I do. But I wrote down the 5 best. Here they are. The 5 best Eagle D linemen for me in my lifetime. I got Reggie 1, obviously. I got Jerome 2. I'm biased. I got Fletcher 3. You probably should do this to take my bias out of the room. Put Fletcher 2 and Jerome 3rd, but I can't. I got Clyde Simmons 4. I got Hugh Douglas 5.
That's a good one.
Brandon Graham 6.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Those are my 6 greatest in my lifetime in the last probably 40, 50 years of the Eagle D linemen. I'd go Reggie White 1, Jerome 2, Fletcher 3, Clyde Simmons 4, Hugh Douglas 5, and I would go Brandon Graham 6. And if you want to throw Trent Cole in there too, you could probably throw
Trent Cole would be on mine because I'm younger, remember. So mine's Fletcher, obviously. Brandon Graham, Trent's obviously got to be on there. And then obviously, I mean, I obviously did not watch Reggie play or Jerome play or Clyde play, but you know, I've watched documentaries and stuff. I've seen how
do your lifetime. I mean, probably
my lifetime is BG. I mean, it's BG and Cox. I mean, and Trent Cole. You know, now there were some other guys, but those are really the big. I mean, think about it.
Thomas Hollis,
I've been an Eagle fan. BG's been here. He's been here what, 13, 14 years? I'm 26.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember much before I was 10 years old, 12, 13 years old. So those are the guys. It's BG, it's Fletcher Cox. I remember is Twiz in here? Yeah, Twiz is in here. One of my first shows on the air. Twiz, you know, he used my words against me because I said I love Cox.
Yeah. Of course, because everybody's got a gutter.
Yeah, Twiz had to hold it against me. He still writes that comment all the time on here.
Okay, so when we look at Q, how do you look at him? You think he's a lockdown corner?
I do. I think he's the best corner he's the best rookie corner I've ever seen in Philly.
He's not by definition. So is he a modern day?
What does that mean?
Wait a minute. It's not a rip. Is he a modern day lockdown corner? Because, dude, they're not throwing to that side of the ball. And as I told you, they were targeting Slay's side of the ball the majority of the season this year. Okay. I mean, I just think it's a terminology thing right now. But hey, is he Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, but he's playing zone. Does that make him a bad corner?
No. It makes him a corner that fits what they're doing. Now, could I put him in Miami's defense? Would he would fail mightily.
I don't think he would.
Okay, well, he's not a press corner. He has not been tested.
Yeah, but they haven't asked him to be a press corner.
That's the point. You don't know.
That's not an indictment on the player.
That's guesswork.
No. I'm telling you though why I think you're wrong on this.
How do you know that? They play 2% press coverage.
But that's not because they don't trust the corner. That's because that's what Vic wants. Vic had Jalen Ramsey last year, and he still put him in zone.
This is hype. You're guessing that he can do it.
Well, obviously, we've never seen it. But right. I'm not gonna knock.
Well, I'm not gonna give somebody a benefit of the doubt in the NFL that's never done it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so we agree to disagree. I think he's a lockdown corner, and he's perfect for the city of Brotherly Love.
Well, again, like I said, you're giving the guy the benefit of the doubt who's never done it. That's not how you look at things.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
No. Great. You want to give somebody the benefit
but them playing zone, okay, that's fine if you don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he could do it. But them playing zone is not a shot at Quinyon because he did the same thing with one of the best corners.
Like I said, Jalen Ramsey is probably going to knock on the door for the Pro Football Hall of Fame on being a lockdown press corner. That's what he does. When Vic wanted him to do it, you're telling me Jalen Ramsey couldn't play in the zone very well, but you're trying to tell me a guy was going to potentially go to the Hall of Fame. You're going to tell me a rookie can turn around and play a press coverage game, but Ramsey can't play a zone game, an easier game, which is in the zone. All right. Hey, to each his own.
Give me
Okay.
Quinyon Mitchell overall.
Are you really? What Ramsey will be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I don't give a shit about Ramsey.
Okay. I don't know about your boy Q. Now, look, he fits the system. He does. He fits playing zone.
Okay, good. So what do we need? What? Okay, good. He fits
there and call him a press corner is ridiculous.
I don't need him to be something so that Sileo can give him credit. I need him to be a great corner for the Philadelphia Eagles.
10 yards off the ball. He's a lockdown fucking corner. All right, sure.
Oh my God, this guy was calling him the defensive rookie of the year like 2 days ago.
Baby. All right, let's move on.
I've never seen a guy move so quick. When were your defensive rookie of the year rankings? Literally Tuesday?
Yeah, I got him second.
Now you're bashing him on Thursday.
Dude, I got Cooper. In my opinion, by the end of the year, Cooper DeJean keeps playing. He'll jump that guy. Cooper DeJean, bro. You know what love he got for knocking?
Quinyon's been great for the Eagles.
Hey, do you know the love that guy's getting nationally for putting Derrick Henry on his back?
Yeah, it's great. It is great.
Yeah. Hey, you know how many voters and people are watching that going, did he just pick Derrick Henry up who took Josh Norman and threw him into the first row of the first seats? And that guy picked him up and put him on his head?
Yeah. Cooper DeJean is out here showing out for all of us white dudes. He's picking up Derrick Henry and tossing him like a rag doll.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. If I were him, I'd have that as a screensaver on my fucking laptop.
Yeah, don't read the headlines yet, man. Get to the end of the year. He's got to keep playing good, or else Sileo will be here to rip him every single day for 4 hours a day.
Sileo is not.
Don't get in the Sileo crosshairs.
Sileo is not here to rip anybody. Sileo is here to give nothing but the facts. Plain and simple, my friend.
The scary thing about the Sileo crosshairs is that you don't even have to play. You don't even have to play again to make him change his opinion. Tuesday he was glazing Quinyon. Now John McMullen says he's playing 8 yards off, and now Sileo wants to rip him. Quinyon hasn't even changed anything.
I have not ripped him one time today.
Oh, you ripped him.
I did not. He is a modern day lockdown zone corner.
He's a great zone corner, yeah.
Yeah, great zone corner.
Okay. How much you paying him? Is he a top guy?
He's nowhere near Patrick Surtain. So whatever that number is. Let me see another year. I said the same thing with Sauce. Hey, after Sauce's first year, what do you make of him now?
Well, yeah, he's dropped off a little bit now, hasn't he?
Oh, but Q won't, because of course to you're giving him the benefit that he's going to be the next Darrelle Revis.
Oh, right? they're asking Sauce to play man a lot more.
Right. That's right. That's
got a harder gig.
That's what the fuck did I just hear? It's a harder gig.
Yeah, I know it's a harder gig.
Okay.
But I don't need Quinyon to be that. So why am I going to live in fantasy land?
Hey, see, I'll tell you.
It's like you. It's the same thing with you.
I'll tell you one thing that it is for my friend Zander Krause.
I'm telling you, like I said a couple days ago,
you want to know something?
Parading down Broad Street. Sileo will be live on the National Football Show. We need to pass the ball. We need to pass the ball,
like you guys do. When somebody says, "What little bitty thing like that," don't say anything about my boy Jalen Hurts.
If it ain't Sileo's way, he ain't happy. Well, guess what?
No. Hey, by the way, here we go. December 5th, take a half a victory. Wait a minute. Hey, watch this, folks. Hey, December 5th, Zander, take your halfway victory lap.
I'm not a half a sandwich kind of guy. That's a wise man once said.
That's right, because last year Big Sills ate the whole thing. How you doing?
Big Sills didn't eat shit.
Zander and Seth ate half the sandwich. By the way,
well, congrats, and you've bounced back now with a complete empty plate. You maybe get a toasted slice of half
the same shit last year. Why are you ripping the team to 10-1? Why are you ripping the team to 10-2? I'm like, hang in there.
So hang in there, youngster.
Hang in there, youngster. You will get.
Hang in there.
You will get another schooling and another class lesson from the man himself, Big
Wait,
Sil.
we didn't get a chance to talk on the show yesterday, which, felt a little
I
like
hate
they
that.
felt a little different yesterday without
It
being
did.
on the
It did.
National
Hey,
Football
dude,
Show.
I missed it too, man. I like you on this
But
bitch.
listen, we didn't get a chance to talk about the NCAA. Bama edges out your boys. How do you feel?
Deservingly. Deservingly so. Miami does not deserve to be in the tournament because they don't have a good enough defense. I know that I'm getting killed by Miami Hurricane fans, and I fucking don't care. That team is not good enough. You can't lose to Georgia Tech and Syracuse and go, hey, you know what? When you lose to Vanderbilt or you lose to any team in the Southeast, you know what Vanderbilt would do in the ACC? They'd be the second best team in the ACC. That's how good that conference
That was a bad loss.
It
What do you think about
bad.
Bama over
You
the
gotta
other?
agree. If Vanderbilt is in the Big 12 or the ACC, they win 10 games.
What do you think
They
about?
won 9 this year.
What do you think about all the nerds who are crying about South Carolina? I'm like, all right, now South Carolina is a perennial football program. Fuck South Carolina. They don't deserve to get in.
Bama has 2 shitty losses, that Oklahoma loss and the Vandy loss,
Yeah,
but
but they had some good
they got
wins.
quality wins.
Yeah,
they got
had
quality
good
wins on the
yeah.
roster. My problem is the coach. Okay, my problem is like you can't have it here and then here. You can't go into Norman and get rolled.
Yeah, now what's the schedule look like this year? Because it's obviously a 12 playoff now. So normally they waited till January to play the game. Are they waiting?
No. They're gonna play. I think if they're in the Peach Bowl, I think they're playing. They play a semifinal game, then they play one of the byes, and if Alabama will play Oregon next.
Ooh,
After the opening round, they'll play Oregon.
Yeah, that's going to be
they're the lowest seeded.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think Bama can beat them. I don't think.
If I'm Oregon, that's the last thing I want. Yeah, see, that's what I laugh about. Everybody goes on Twitter and tweets, "Oh, fuck Alabama, F them this. Oh, no, why do they get the benefit of the doubt?" And then everybody also doesn't want to play versus Alabama. Like, if you're Oregon, would you rather play versus Bama or South Carolina Gamecocks? You tell me.
Oh, by the way, hey, Prince, I also said Peyton Wilson, they should take it. Peyton Wilson's right now is 5th for the Rookie of the Year award. So fuck
I tell you what, that game tonight still is riddled with injuries.
Yes.
Green Bay's without Jair Alexander. Edgerrin Cooper, I think, is not playing as well. I think they have a guy on the D line. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head, but there were some big names that were missing that game tonight. And then obviously Detroit's had some injuries. So that's going to be a great game tonight, dude. I can't wait.
Plus the loss. Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me, Prince. My bad. Crowley, you're the douche. La da ba douche. All right.
Prince, you're just out here catching strays, my guy.
No. Prince and I have a good relationship, I think. Sorry, brother. Okay. Sorry, brother. We both said we said that, Sills. He's right. Relax. I am relaxed. Hey, Crowley.
You don't seem too relaxed. You and John both, I've noticed.
No, you know what I had today?
The more games the Eagles win in a row, it's like the more grumpy these old heads become.
Actually, I had a really good night's sleep last night. It's why I'm feeling better and not as grumpy, is because my arthritis has been killing me and I have a limp right now. Now it's kind of gone away.
You're sitting in that chair. I told you when you got that chair, you might not have liked doing the show standing up, but it is better for you.
I know.
It's better for your posture. It's better for your joints. It's better for all that stuff, dude.
Killing my knees.
Yeah, I'm telling you. We got it.
I know. I got to figure. I'm gonna figure that. We're gonna move everything around here. Anyway, you got your fucking list of quarterbacks.
Yeah, I got my list. You're gonna love it too.
Wait till you hear this. So usually on Tuesday I do the Big Sills top 10 NFL quarterbacks. Now,
well, remember the NFL list we did a couple days ago. Mine was superb. You had a trash list.
Okay. Remember this, folks. These are the 10 quarterbacks that are playing the best quarterback this year in the NFL. The men that are playing the best. Number 10, I have Matthew Stafford at number 10. Number 9, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Number 8, I freaking hate putting this guy here. Sam Darnold, Minnesota.
He's earned it. He's in my top 10 as well.
He's there. I hate it, but
He's
he's
in
there.
my 10 as well.
Number 7, Jordan Love.
He's rising quick.
He is.
I part of me feels like
You
they're
know
still a
who's
year
falling?
back.
You know who's falling out of my top 10? CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he's falling quick. He might not. Do I have him on mine? Yeah, he's falling, brother.
I got
DJ Stroud doesn't look too good. And
Jordan
Purdy's
Love
falling too.
at number 7.
Wait, what was that? Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Jordan Love 7.
I got you.
Number 6. I'm shocked this guy's in the conversation. Baker Mayfield.
Really good year, man.
40 touchdowns this year.
Really good year for Bake Show. Really good year.
Unbelievable. Number 5. This might be blasphemy. The man who's going after 3 NFL championships in a row, Patrick Mahomes.
Blasphemy. Literal blasphemy.
I got him.
You have him at 5?
5. Number 4. Come on. For the quarterbacks, listen up there, folkies. Having the best season in the NFL at the quarterback position. Number 4, from the Bengals, Joe Burrow. He's going to throw for maybe 50 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I got him high on my list. Joe Burrow is an absolute beast. Don't get it twisted with that team.
Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 3. Number 2, guy you'll see tonight, Jared Goff. And number 1, the man, the myth, the legend, the front runner for the NFL's Most Valuable Player Award, Josh Allen. Buffalo Bills. Here's my top 10. Stafford 10, Herbert 9, Darnold 8, Love 7, Mayfield 6, Mahomes 5, Burrow 4, Lamar Jackson 3, Goff 2, Josh Allen number 1.
Not bad. Okay. Not your best list.
I can't wait to hear your shit list. Let's go.
Not your best list.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Here, go ahead. Let me hear it.
All right, ready?
Right.
Number 10, I got CJ Stroud. He's fallen mightily in the list, but he is down at 10, just squeaking in at
Shit
10.
Pick. Go ahead.
No. Number 9, I got Baker Mayfield at number 9. What a season he's having. You got to tip your cap to him. Number 8, Sam Darnold. What a player. What a year he's having. Not what a player, but he's having a good year. Got to give him his credit. He's looked really good. Number 7, Justin Herbert. Something about him is missing, but you can see he's got all the talent in the world. There's something about him, Sills. What is missing? Because he's got everything you need. He's got the arm strength, the talent, the accuracy, the size, everything you need, the athleticism.
What they did to him too? They pulled the hurts on him. They took the ball out of his hand, and he ain't thrown it as much as he has in the past.
Well, to be fair though, they were throwing it too much with him.
They were. And now hey, you want to hear? Hey, before you move on, you want to hear something fucked up here? Check this out. Here are the teams right now that have the best defenses right now when it comes to points surrendered. Do you know the Chargers are number 1? Here it is. The Chargers have given up the least amount of points in 12 games, 188. The Lions are second at 203. The Eagles are third at 218. This will win games. Least points, that's what wins. Eagles 218. Vikings 219. The Bills are at 224, and the Steelers are at 224. All those have one thing in common. What? Those are all the playoff contending teams that get to the NFC and AFC championships. And the Chargers are number 1 at 188. Jim Harbaugh runs the ball and plays. That's fucking nuts. I don't keep an eye on the Chargers. They follow me on Twitter, by the way, and I should. But that's crazy. So go ahead. Move on.
Yeah, look at my boy Chuck. I'm one of those Gamecock nerds. Chuck, I love you, pal.
Hey, Chuck.
Roll Tide, Chucky.
Hey, Chuck, they got 2 edge rushers on that Gamecock team that are fucking amazing. And
it's
one
South
of them,
Carolina guy. It's a
those South Carolina guys are going to play on Sunday, man.
It's a fun little bar scene. That's it. Come on. Don't try.
That's a great stadium, too. I played in that bitch.
All right, here we go. Number 6. All right, I'm down to 6. Yeah, 7 was Herbert. Number 6, Jared Goff. I think he could be higher right now, but I think the top 5 guys are locked in for me at the moment.
Oh, God.
Number 5, you're about to lose it. You're about to lose it. I got Lamar. He's fallen for me. I see too many mistakes. I see too many easy mistakes.
I don't have a problem with you putting him there. I'll have a problem with who you put above him.
I got Jalen Hurts at number 4. You're lucky I didn't go higher because you know what? I'm done with this bullshit of everybody wants a quarterback to look how they want them to look, and they cannot analyze what a quarterback is accomplishing without slanting it toward what they want. No, the guy is successful. Why should I care? Why should I value more what I want it to look like versus what's actually working in the highest level of football in the world?
If I put Jalen Hurts on an equally talented team that was equally talented, like let's use a NASCAR where they have those restrictor plates and everything is even. Would you want Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen to run that team? Would you want Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts to run that team? Would you want Lamar or Jalen Hurts to run that team? Would you want Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts to run?
But I can say the same thing about your list, dog. You had Jared Goff number 2. What the fuck are you talking about?
Jared Goff's won everywhere he's gone to. What's the fucking?
You take Jared Goff over the other guys you just named?
Jared Goff has done more than Hurts will ever do. He throws for 4,244.
He hasn't done more than Hurts will ever do. Such a stupid.
He has already. He has already. He has. Name me one thing he's done.
He's been in the league since 2016.
Okay, his second year he was in the Super Bowl.
He's got 5 more years on Hurts.
He was in the Super Bowl his second year.
So was Jalen.
Okay, but he throws for 4,500 yards and 35.
There you go. That's a perfect example. Okay. All Sileo cares about is that he throws for 4,500 yards.
Hurts
I don't give a shit how many yards he throws.
Hurts, get this, folks. He doesn't have anything that Hurts does better than Jared Goff. He doesn't have anything because Goff has been to 2 conference titles. He throws from the pocket. He wins from the pocket. And everywhere he's gone, he's transformed the franchise. Jeff Fisher was the coach. They didn't do dick. McVay comes in. They go to the Super Bowl. He goes to Detroit, a shithole. Not even Matthew Stafford could do anything up there. He was 0 for 3 in the playoffs. He goes up there, turns him into the favorite. What are you fucking talking about?
Okay.
Let's move on. Right. So who's next after?
Are you done? Boy? Are you done?
Who's your boy after the God?
Number 3, I got Patty Mahomes. Number 3. Number 2, I got Joe Burrow. Number 1, I got Josh Allen.
Okay. Jalen Hurts on a top 10 list.
Where was Hurts on yours? Because he was 9 on the week before. He wasn't on yours this week?
No, not this week. No. 114 yards doesn't get it done. How you doing?
You're the passing yards king, bro. You really are.
No. I'm a quarterback king that you have to win from the pocket. You're gonna have to win a Super Bowl eventually. Hey, he's a mailman.
Look at Amber. Amber's pissed at me. He's like, you got the green
mailman. The mailman. Yeah, he's the mailman.
All right, well, we're creating a Hall of Fame of mailmen, and that's reserved for one person, not to disrespect any of our great postal workers.
Get this, folks.
Jalen Hurts is the greatest mailman in history.
So when Hurts got benched at Alabama, they got better. Gee, really? Maybe if you had a better quarterback, maybe Devontae could be part of an offensive scheme.
That's a rich mailman, man. I'll tell you what.
Hey, an overpaid mailman as far as I'm concerned.
I haven't seen a mailman that rich since the 2020 election when they were paying them dudes. Oh, man.
Hey, Betty, he didn't mean it.
Oh, gosh. Aunt Betty. I got to get Aunt Betty on my – I need to go on like a couple-week run to get Aunt Betty on my good side.
That's fucking funny, man. Hey, so, you said something this week about Carolina. Hey, this will be the last one. Then we'll get to some of the supers here because we got Farzi coming up here. You're not concerned about this game this weekend. Not at all, right?
I'm not taking it lightly. You got too much at stake to take a week off. You got 17 of these games. Lock in. I don't give a shit who you're playing. If I'm now this is just me, but I would do my very best to not let the human nature get to you, to treat this game exactly like you treated the Ravens game, to continue to knock down each pin. I don't care. Take the stickers off the helmets. I don't give a shit who I'm playing.
Other
than game planning, I don't care who I'm playing. Go in, destroy them, keep winning, keep getting better, and do what you got to do. It's obviously winning this week does nothing for us other than get us one step closer to that goal. And that's what we're going for. I don't care about beating the Panthers. I want to get the 1 seed. I want to get into the playoffs. I want to play my best football.
You know what I found out about great teams, and when you're on a great team, you don't really know what your record is every week. You just get up there and play your best, and then you're reminded of it by the media and such because they come so quick. Let's do the supers. We got Farzi coming up on the other side here. So let's do that. By the way, great stuff as always, Zander.
Yeah, thank you. Senor says Stafford replaced Goff like Tua replaced Hurts.
Stafford won a Super Bowl, and then Goff went up there and put the Lions in the NFC title game.
Nick Marchetti says Sil's trying to find something wrong with a rookie. Nick, it's ridiculous. This guy is nuts.
I gave him compliments because he fit a system that they drafted him for. That's a fucking lie. Nobody said anything negative about Q. Nothing.
Nick, you spent $1.99 to get Sileo in a tizzy. I love it. That's a great $2 spent right there. That's better than a candy bar.
That's what I am in a fucking
better than a candy bar and a vending machine right there. Dirty D. Dak will never throw 5 picks.
It sounds like Rhonda now. Go ahead.
Dak will never throw 5 picks in a game and win. Well, Jared Goff can thank his team for that one. Dirty D.
Okay. No comment.
Okay. I hope we can see Q shadow a guy all game one time.
Doesn't no. Why?
Not going to happen.
But not in Vic's system.
Ramsey sucked in Vic's defense. That's because he was playing zone. Different corner.
It's not a rip.
All right. You got these, right? Q5.
Yeah. Wait. Q plays 5 yards off the. Yeah, I got that one.
Goff I brought that up, Lucius, on this segment. Goff had a game where he passed for 85 yards. Don't tell Sills that. He just.
But that's an anomaly with the.
Certain stats. It's just like a flow.
That's an anomaly, though. He doesn't do. Yeah, that's right.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Lucius, a guy who throws for 4,500 yards every year. That's right. He throws for 85. No, it's your guy who throws for $102 and like a touchdown and. He's the guy that throws for $102 in yards.
I'll tell you what. You know what Sileo and McMullen have made me? I am a miserable person in my family to get into an argument with. If you get into an argument with me, you're in trouble because Sileo and John have me on the defensive a lot.
Wait, let me tell you this, Andrew. You know the key? Here, I'm going to give you a little insight about the Sileo family. You ready? It's not about the facts, dog. It's who hollers the loudest.
Yeah. And I might have even gotten the better of you in that regard.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, that's right.
Jason says Hurts and Goff have done the same shit. Only Goff being in the league longer. One NFC championship.
Actually, he hasn't. He's gone to 2 NFC title games. Try reading a book, kid, and get back.
Okay, and he lost the other one. So who gives a shit?
Well, Jalen can't lose to Baker Mayfield and getting murdered.
Dude, he's got way smaller of a sample size, though.
Okay, I'm just asking you, what has he done?
Compare Goff to Dak.
Jared Goff's superior to Dak.
Okay, good. I agree. They've had the same amount of time in the league, basically, and Goff has done way more.
Oh, God, this is exhausting.
Wait, no, but be fair.
Who was
Jalen? Who was in Jalen's draft class?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember second rounders.
You fucking asshole.
2021.
You were a second rounder, jerk off. You don't remember yourself now?
Yeah. Boy, some of you guys in here, man, you guys are on fentanyl.
All right, ready? Joe Burrow was in that class.
Tua. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Take him.
I'm not saying take him over, but these are who I want to compare. Joe Burrow has the same achievements as Jalen Hurts. He's won a title,
You're right.
an AFC title, and Jalen Hurts has won.
You're right. Right. You're right. So you take
Tua
Hurts.
Taking 5th overall.
You take Hurts. I'll take Burrow.
Okay, great. Who else? What other quarterbacks were taken? Jordan Love, he's done dick. Jalen has done more than him. Same year, drafted same year as Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he won a playoff game in his first year starting.
Who else? Who else was drafted with Jalen?
He won a first playoff game in his first year starting.
Don't give a shit. Hasn't done as much as Hurts. Brian says, I got stinky butt Hurts
in the playoffs. Your boy's 2-3 in the playoffs. You're making it sound like he's been fucking murdering people. He's been annihilated by Baker Mayfield.
I got stinky butt Hurts as the 26 QB. You butt pirates are mad for no reason.
have no idea what that. Hey, there you go, bro. Brian, that's my boy. I love you, man. All right, Farzad is coming up here. Man.
Arthur says, bring Seth on. No, thanks. We're good on Seth. He doesn't want to come on anymore. He posted Hurts' numbers versus Allen's. I don't give a shit about those numbers, by the way. Here we go. Read a book. If he didn't win the second one, it didn't happen. Make me a sandwich.
Just ridiculous. All right. Yeah.
All right. Have a good segment with Farz.
Yeah, you bet, man. I appreciate it very much. Holy cow, man. This is, hey, by the way, I happen to agree with Brian Westbrook yesterday, who came on the program, who said that if that number was within reach, you go for it. And I've got another topic that I'm going to talk to Mark Farzetta here. By the way, kicks off our broadcasting here on JAKIB Sports. We appreciate that right before Birds 365. He is my friend. He also is the espresso king, cappuccino. I don't know. I thought I saw on that machine he could do both. Okay? So I'm going to assume it's espresso with this guy. So is it 3 sugars or 2 sugars that keeps him going all the time? To me, it'd be 4 sugars. Mark Farzetta, our good friend. Farzy, how you doing, brother?
Sugar? Okay. What